I can't hear the music.
This guy.
This is Harry Hard Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about all the news from the week. This and much more live with Aaron and John. Yo, what's up, John? Well, we've already had our first snafu. We don't know what happened to the music. Could you hear it?
I couldn't hear it. No, I couldn't hear it.
We're never going to get this thing right.
How many episodes? 630?
630. We forgot to check the intro.
630? 600 and Brian Mitchell.
Oh, did I turn the camera on in here? Oh, I did. Okay. At least I did the 600 and Brian Mitchell.
Yeah, man.
You know what I have to say about that? Oh, I got a sound effect for him.
I know exactly what you're going to say, too.
I can't find it. I can't find anything. Dude, we haven't done a podcast in so long.
Aaron's getting old. He can't figure out what it is. He's going to say something like, "Aye!
Aye.
Anyway, you see, I'm wearing my Washington Capitals shirt today. Old school Washington Capitals. If you guys are watching the Capitals versus the Montreal Canadiens, Tom Wilson is the guy that everybody hates and everybody wishes was on his team. Ha ha ha!
All right, I can't find the sound effect. It was going to be "You sucked on the field today."
You sucked on the field today. I sound just like him.
Everybody, welcome to the podcast.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back on track now. Except I still don't know why the sound didn't work, but whatever.
Yeah, because we did it earlier. It was working. Anyway, dudes, we got so much to talk about. We have to talk about the draft. Got to talk about the undrafted free agents, including Sean Taylor's
Wait,
brother.
dude. Rewind. Oh. We haven't had a podcast since after the championship game. So we have to talk about all the dudes we got in free agency.
We're not going to do it.
We got to talk about free agency.
I'm not talking about.
I'm not talking about the Eagles. I'm not talking about that. But we need to talk about who we got in free agency, who we lost in free agency, who we drafted, and the undrafted free agents to figure out who's actually on our team now.
Like this dude, Yo S. Carter, offensive lineman from Florida State. Sorry, from Findlay State University. That dude. His name is Yoesph. You said it's Joseph, but I mean, there's like the S is in the wrong spot.
The S is in the wrong spot.
I don't know. Anyway, he's a camp body. Dude, we got some dude named Maurice Smith. Like, is that Maurice Smith's son? The guy that's like the head of the NFLPA?
Dude, it is. It's the same guy.
It's obviously the same guy. The HGH is working wonders.
On a Friday at 7, dudes, Kenny Ken said, have a good show.
He's got Kenny Ken the 7th has so many kids at home. It's not like he's like, I mean, is he going out to see like a show or maybe some football or
gambling somewhere? You know what we've got here, speaking of gambling, tomorrow is the big day here in Louisville.
Oh, for...
It's the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Dude, Suzanne's already been at the track Suzanne's already been out at the track like 4 times this week for different events.
Really?
Oh yeah, she went there for opening day last Friday night. And was up in like Millionaires. What do they call it? The jockey suites, the nice ones that would probably be like $1 million if you were there tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Did she have a hat?
It was supposed to be the Great Gatsby night.
Oh, she definitely had to have a hat then.
Yeah. They were supposed to be flapper style and whatnot, like Great Gatsby, and she wanted me to go with her, and I was like, I can't. I got soccer tickets, and she was like, come with me, and I'm like, let me think. Go watch a soccer game, or get dressed up and go hang out with...
Looking like F. Scott fits you.
First of all, I don't have any clothing that I can wear that makes me look that way. And second of all, I had soccer tickets.
Yeah, I mean Louisville City Soccer Club.
So
Big Burp.
She
and
took
they won.
Yeah, she took a friend of hers that loved it.
Likes the 1920s.
Yeah, they loved like getting dressed up and all that kind of stuff. And then what else did she do? She went to Dawn at the Downs, which is like you go there at the butt crack of dawn and they have this giant breakfast. It's all these people hobnobbing, and they like you see the horses like training and warming up and all that, and then they have these like expert horse people that tell you who is going to be a good horse and why and how to bet and stuff. Anyway, so she went to that, and then I think on Wednesday she went to some kind of lunch thing at the Downs, Churchill Downs.
Sounds like she needs to get a company cot at Churchill Downs if she's there every day.
Well, here's the way it goes, dude. As closer it gets to Derby, like they call Thursday, Wednesday I think is called like 502 Day, which is the area code in Louisville. So that's like the locals day. Mm-hmm. It used to be today, which is the Kentucky Oaks Day, was the locals day, but as this gets more and more of a big deal, the locals get pushed earlier in the week.
Yeah.
So they call Thursday Thurby, and they have a bunch of stuff going on. And then Friday is the Kentucky Oaks, which used to be where all the locals went to.
Right.
And then, of course, tomorrow's Kentucky Derby. So I will be found nowhere near the racetrack, and I'll tune in for the 2 minutes. But I'm sure Kenny Ken is going to be all over betting on that.
Oh, yeah. I want actually, if Kenny Ken is still listening, if his kids aren't climbing all over him, because he's got like 2/3 of a football team of kids.
He's got more than that, dude. He's got like...
He's got a lot.
He's got a lot of children, dude.
He does.
We don't know how many.
I think he's starting a baseball team. I think he has 6.
I think he has 7 because he's called the 7th.
That's a lot of kids.
I don't know. Let's get to football, dude. I think we should start back. We're not talking anything about that championship game except for one thing I want to talk about, and why whose jersey I'm going to buy because of that game.
Number 4.
Number 4, Frankie Lulu, for the first time in my life. I've never heard this in watching football for 48 years. We're going to award the other team a touchdown if you do it again. And I'm like, do it again. I was like, do it again, because we were done at that point anyway. I was like, just do it again.
That was the stupidest thing for them to say whatsoever. It's like, we have to stop them. Like, we have to jump the gun to stop them.
Yeah, there's no other way, because
it's the push.
Yeah, you allow this play in here, and they're off. Dude, I swear on the tush push, I'm not going to complain about it that much, but I swear the Eagles line up in the neutral zone every single time.
I don't think so.
I do.
I've looked at it too.
Their heads are like so in the neutral zone on that. Their heads are over the football.
If you don't like the tush push, then you need to get bigger defensive players and stop it. It's the NFL. That's exactly why I say it, and that is exactly one of the things that they started looking at going into the offseason of the draft.
Stopping the tush push.
You got the Eagles, you got the Giants. Eagles, you got the Giants, you got Dallas. All those guys are trying to
win.
They've got a really, really good defensive front. They try really, really good defensive front, and they really try to press the quarterback all the time. And we saw that in this game because our offensive line for the second half of the season was like paper thin, was barely holding on, and in that game they just fell apart. Cosme was out.
We didn't have enough meat.
We didn't have enough meat in that sandwich.
We needed some more hosses, dude. And
we did.
Dude, we couldn't open up holes. Forget it. Also, don't forget, we couldn't open up holes for any running backs at all.
Not at all. And so we drafted left tackle, who's probably going to play right tackle. Cosme's not going to be back until at least the second half of the season, if not the playoffs in this year's Super Bowl round that we're getting ready to go on.
He could come back though at an ideal time. I'm thinking like maybe November or so.
It could. He very well could. We're going to see. Like I always say here on the podcast, when you've got a 300-pound man whose knee goes bad, sometimes they don't come back. So I hope he does, because that's a lot of that's a lot of meat to be putting on a knee that's torn ACL. Dude, honestly,
there were a lot of. Was it an ACL he tore?
I can't remember actually.
Isn't the ACL the one that's not as severe, or am I wrong on that?
That is the severe. That's the most severe one. Because there's like the MCL and there's the PCL.
There's one of them that's only like a 4-week injury.
I think the PCL is sometimes.
But anyway, there were a lot of people that I heard, Redskins fans, that were upset about the first round pick and getting an offensive tackle. Like, I can't talk about which player, is better or whatever from college because I don't watch that much college, but we needed a hoss, dude. I don't care what you guys say. We needed some freaking hosses. We were so thin.
Do you remember last year when we were just like, there were a bunch of us who were just like, we need to get a quarterback, and there were a bunch of us who were like, we need to get a left tackle.
Mm-hmm. Well,
with last year we got the quarterback, and this year we got the left and the right tackle.
Oh yes, dude.
Jeremy Tunstall, Mr. himself. When we traded for him, that was the point where I said, we are trying to get to the Super Bowl and win it this season. When we got that left tackle from, I still don't know why they traded him.
Dude, I've already called it. We are winning the Super Bowl this season.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, dude, when we got him, I was like, oh my gosh. And now you get the other right tackle, and then you got Coleman, who came along pretty nicely last year, and he might slide inside to guard. Yeah. He was good. I mean, he wasn't the best, but he was good by the end of the year. He was solid.
Allegretti. I mean, there's some people. We got an undrafted free agent that is
we might not have to have Wiley.
Tim McKay from North Carolina State. Yeah, from NC State. I think that guy was hurt, and that was why he didn't get drafted.
And he got $275,000 guaranteed to come to our camp undrafted. So you know that they're
undrafted.
Yeah, so you know they're thinking about him. Like, Adam Peters is really good about finding these dudes who would have went earlier, but something happened.
How did we go from Dan Snyder in like 2 years? We went from Dan Snyder to having people that are like aren't just competent, but they're really good at their job finding these guys. It's fantastic.
Dude, you know how the media is always stroking Howie Roseman over at the Eagles for being such a good GM. You know what our dude did? He traded a third-round pick. He traded Jahan Dotson to the Eagles for a third-round pick, and I just heard that Jahan Dotson, the Eagles, did not pick up his fifth-year option.
Yeah. Like, he caught that touchdown in the Super Bowl, and the only reason, as soon as he caught that, was like, that's because no one was covering that guy, because that guy can't catch a cold. Because, I mean, we all know with him, Jahan Dotson, as soon as he leaves the line, boom, someone bumps him, and his timing's all off because he's a little skinny guy like me.
Yeah. But Adam Peters, dude, he said that this hoss that we got, what's his name? Josh Connerly? From Oregon, right?
Yeah, from the University of Oregon. And, dude, I love his hair. His hair is like the combination of kid and play.
It's his new nickname is Kid and Play, dude.
Kid and Play, man.
Dude, this guy.
Like, you see, he's got that, oh, man. I always wish I could have a hair like that. And look at my hair now.
Oh, my gosh. So we're going to have, let me think about the offensive line real quick.
Right.
So Tunzel on the left.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy, do you remember that? Do you remember when he was drafted? And like as the draft started, I can't remember. It was right.
Was that the gas mask dude? I didn't realize that was him.
So he fell in the draft because of that.
Oh,
and that
my
was
gosh.
still before then. That was like I think that was kind of where they were just like they don't really test for that anymore that I know of in any sport really.
Dude, all of our best left tackles smoked the tree. Because remember who else was smoking the tree all the time was Trent Williams.
That dude couldn't stop.
Yeah, I know.
But again, a big 300-something pound guy who's like going to the Hall of Fame, he's probably got injuries all over his body. So you're just like, heck yeah, man. Makes my knees feel better. Makes my hips feel better.
So is our starting O-line then pretty much going to be, until Cosme gets back, Tunzel, Brandon Coleman, Tyler Biotish, Nick Allegretti, and Connerly?
I think, but Allegretti is still kind of a like Allegretti was a good leader who was there when the center went out and everything. He was good at getting that dude Dieter.
Yeah.
Actually snapped the ball on time, man. That guy sucked.
I think he's still on the team. I need to look, dude. Dieter.
Oh man, I hope not.
I think I'm gonna pull up the roster because I was looking at it, and let's see.
Anyway, Allegretti. I mean, he's got to look behind him right now.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at here is we might not have to play Wiley.
Oh, dude, wouldn't it be great if we could trade Wiley to somebody?
Dude, maybe we can trade him to the Eagles for a third. Maybe they'll give us a third
round pick. Wiley?
All right.
Wiley.
And don't forget, dude, this guy sucks. Trent Scott, he had to play a lot last year at the end of the season, and we're like, oh man, if he's playing, we're done. We're not going to win. I don't even remember who our offensive line was in that championship game, but it was pretty beat up.
It was bad. I mean, the big thing about our quarterback is that he papered over a lot of holes on our offensive line because he's able to get out of. You saw him. He's got butt cheek plays all over the place. You know what he is. He's a future Super Bowl winner. I hope.
Let me go through real quick because we only have 4 tackles on the roster, but then we got a crap load of interior dudes. We got Nick Allegretti, Sam Cosme, Dieter. Of course, Cosme's injured. Dieter, Julian Goodjones. Who is that?
Camp body.
Nate Herbig. Chris Paul.
Okay.
Andrew Wiley. And then at center, we have Tyler Biotish. He's the only center on there. So I don't know if we have another dude that can play center, but hopefully we do.
Can we cut Michael Dieter? Julian Good-Jones is going to be better than Michael Dieter. Although he is listed as a guard only, so, snapping the ball. I mean, that's got to be really nervous. For anybody that's snapping the ball when you got 300-pound men, right in your face about to knock you over, that's going to be a hard job.
Let me just look really quickly through all these transactions. All right, to make sure we're not missing anyone. And yeah, Trent Scott, we literally just signed on March 21st to him and Tress. Oh, speaking of, congratulations to Tress Way for getting, what did he get, dude? It was something good, right? Wasn't it 3 years?
Tress Way?
Yeah.
I do not know. I don't think so. I think Tress Way has always signed 1-year contracts.
Oh, I thought he signed longer term, but whatever.
Well, maybe that was maybe that was Matt Gay, who was our new kicker. By the way, we cut our old kicker that kick in the playoffs. We cut that dude and got a very expensive kicker, but he was with Indianapolis last year and he's pretty good. I remember when he got cut a little while ago, and I was just like, we should probably go after this guy.
I think you're right on the 1-year deal. He's on a 1-year, $2,872,500. Plus, he got $125,000 signing bonus, and he was guaranteed out of this guaranteed $2 million.
Nice. Well, the kicker is guaranteed $4.5 million.
Let's talk about this kicker.
It could be $5 million for kicker.
We signed
him. He better be good, man. He better be good.
Dude, well, we can look at his stats and compare it. If you guys didn't hear, we signed Just recently,
Just a few days ago, it was Matt Gay, the kicker.
Yeah, it's not even on this list that I'm looking at on ESPN, but we signed Matt Gay, who apparently was the kicker for Indianapolis last year. And I can look up what he did compared. So did we cut Gonzalez?
Zane Gonzalez is.
Is he?
Cut!
Where's your giant scissors?
Hold on. There we go. I got my Barber Seville scissors. Cut!
Matt Gay stats. Okay. Last year he was 83.8%. 37 field goals, 31 made.
And most of those that he I think it was 3 for 9 on field goals over 50 yards last year, which was his worst.
Okay, and then what was our other guy? Zane
Gonzalez? Zane Gonzalez almost kicked us out of that playoff game because he doinked that kick. We almost looked like the Vikings.
Oh, dude, I know. Yeah, dude, we barely... But that was our first playoff win in however many years, 25 years or something, so I was freaking out that it actually went in, and I forgot about how bad he almost missed it. And he was doing, like, weird stuff before the kick, too, remember?
Oh, he's very OCD.
Okay.
And, I mean... You want to be like, okay, you're cool with OCD, but when you're watching a guy, I mean, you're like in professional sports and you're watching a guy go all the time at his hair and everything like that. I mean, that gets other people nervous, you know?
Yeah. Just to bring it into perspective, Gonzalez last year was 71% field goals. His career is 80%, and last year the new dude was 83, I said.
Whatever happened to Seibert?
I don't know. Did he sign somewhere?
At the beginning of the year. I don't know.
I know one thing.
Dude, all I know is that we got Matt Gay as the kicker, and we got Tress Way as the punter.
Gay Way.
The Gay Way. Our special teams are the Gay Way. and if you're on Reddit on the Commanders thing on there, they always have like a Game Gay thing, because last year some guy was like, "Hey, it's Game Gay, get ready," and everyone's like, "That's funny." But every Sunday after that, or whatever day the game was, everyone's just like, "It's Game Gay," and now we have a kicker whose name is Gay. So I guess that's gonna be the thing.
Yeah,
it's cool. Everyone's inclusive and shit.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about some of the other dudes that we lost, because we haven't mentioned it. We can't go in depth, or else this podcast would be like 7 hours long. But anyway, just dudes that we signed and lost. Oh my gosh, we signed so many people. Half these people I don't know. Let me go to.
We cut the dude that had the bunch of sacks for us last year. Was it? It wasn't Don. Was it Dante Fowler Jr.?
It was.
Was it? Okay.
He didn't get cut. He just didn't get re-signed.
Oh, he didn't get re-signed.
He went back to Dallas, dude.
That's right. He was just like, I deserve more money than this. And I mean, he led the team in sacks, but it was all against it's kind of against crappy teams, honestly.
I honestly thought we would keep him, because who else do we have? And that's still a point of contention that we haven't brought up, is our edge situation.
The edge situation is a big deal, because it would have been nice to have him back. Now, I know that he was known for not staying in his lane and doing what he was supposed to do, kind of like Chase used to do here, and a lot of other people have done over the years in the NFL. And so they're letting him go, but I haven't really seen anybody get signed to replace that guy.
But we've got this is what I was about to point out by going through these people we signed. We signed a ton of dudes. A ton of defensive ends, and I'm about to go through them and see if you think any of them can stick, or do we have one more big free agent signing to hit here? Here's who we got. You ready?
Yeah,
Andre Jones Jr.
Hold on. Remember that after June 1st, it's a new year in football. That's the calendar year start, and people that are cut after that we might be able to pick up at someone after June 1st. So we'll see. We will see.
Okay, here's the dudes we've signed defensive ends since January.
Okay.
You want me to throw tackles in here too? Just defensive linemen altogether, or just ends?
Let's go ends.
Ends. Andre Jones Jr. was signed to a reserve future contract in January. We signed...
Didn't we already have him? That's
Don't
weird.
forget, we didn't even mention that we cut Jonathan Allen, dude. So we lost a defensive tackle.
Yeah. I think the writing was on the wall with that, though, because there was so much money. Did he sign with San Francisco?
I don't know. But anyway, he was done because...
it sucks for him, too. It sucks for him because
I don't think it was San Francisco. I thought it was someone else.
I'm going to look it up. But it sucks for him because he was here through all the crap. Mm-hmm. And right when we started to get good, he's like too old to, to keep going. It sucks.
Yeah, let me see. We signed defensive lineman Dietrich Wise. I'm not sure if he's on the end or not. I don't remember.
I've seen him play before. He's someone that's already been here. Jonathan Allen signed with the Vikings.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And we'll see how he does. I hope he does well.
Sheldon Day, dude. We re-signed him. We signed some dude named Eddie Goldman. What do you know about that guy?
Isn't Sheldon Day a defensive tackle, though?
Oh, yeah, sorry. He's a tackle. And so is Eddie Goldman.
And so is Wise.
Oh, my gosh. You're right, dude. So is Sheldon Day. So we signed a lot of defensive tackles. And then we paid that Javon Kinlaw dude a 3-year contract for a lot of money. What do you make out of that? Because they said he's been an underachiever all this time. And that, what's-his-face, Peters drafted him originally.
Dude, yeah, I saw that when he did that. I was like, this is someone he had before? Because I was thinking the same thing. I was just like, I mean, I guess Javon Kinlaw is cool, but, I mean, if he drafted him before, he knows what he can do. And he knows that what he can do is something that this team needs.
And maybe he knows the reason why he hasn't been able to do it so far. Was it an injury?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It could be an injury. It could be the scheme.
Yeah, so he knew it enough to give him this giant deal.
Yeah. There were a lot of people who are questioning that, but we'll see. We'll see how he does this year.
You're right, dude. We didn't really sign that many. We signed, here's the defensive end, some guy named Jalen Holmes and Dietrich Wise. They're both the defensive ends.
Jalen Holmes isn't even 300 pounds.
And we signed Clellan Ferrell.
Jalen Holmes is all right. I'm going to go through these guys that are defensive. For the tackles, Sheldon Day is not 300 pounds. Jalen Holmes is not 300 pounds. Kinlaw is totally over 300 pounds. Johnny Newton.
You know who else is over?
Right at 300 pounds. Dude, if you don't...
I like Johnny Newton.
Dude, remember when the refrigerator Perry in the refrigerator Perry in the 80s with the Bears, everyone's like, oh my God, he's so huge. He's 300 pounds. Some of these guys are defensive tackles in the NFL. They're not 300 pounds. They're not going to stick. That's why they keep going from team to team to team. Some of these guys are camp bodies.
I know they're camp bodies, dude. But like Jalen Holmes, Dietrich Wise, who are these? Clellan Ferrell signed again. Like he wasn't that great last year. I would have, if I was going to keep either him or Fowler, I would have kept Fowler personally. But maybe it was an attitude issue. Because I think I remember hearing a few little things about how he felt disrespected and stuff. And
yeah. And I don't know. Basically, I say in Adam Peters I trust because he knows what he's doing a lot better than me, who hasn't played football since like 11 on the street. Knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see about those guys. Again, the biggest thing is Dante Fowler Jr. left, and we don't have someone to replace him.
I think we're going to get someone. There's dudes. There was a poll in our Discord room, which, by the way, if you're not in our Discord room, it's tinyurl.com/HarryHF. There was a poll in there about what player we would want to get in impactful veteran before training camp. CJack17 posted this. Okay. And the person that won was Ladarius Smith. 71% of the vote said that we should go get Zadarius Smith. What do you know about Zadarius Smith?
I recognize the name. Do you remember who he played for?
No.
Zadarius.
And then Von Miller was 1 vote. Justin Simmons, safety. We got a bunch of safeties now.
I remember this dude. Zadarius Smith? Oh, yeah.
Nick Chubb got 0 votes.
He's got big old dreads on his head, man. He looks like somebody you don't want to mess with, that's for sure.
Where did he play?
He's with the Lions right now. He's also 32.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is he with the Lions or is he a free agent?
Currently, he is with the Lions as a defensive lineman.
I'm seeing that Bears might go get him right here. I don't see anything about us. I'm just looking in the news. Oh, no, I do see something 2 days ago. Critical decision awaits Commanders on it. It's all these fake articles, dude.
I was about to say, don't even start on that article. Critical decision. 5 things that the Redskins the Commanders
have to do. Dude, I hate it when you start reading an article and you feel ripped off because you get about 3 sentences in and realize that AI wrote it and they don't even know what they're talking about.
Yes, I do.
Like, I started reading one about the new stadium and it's like, what did it say? The Commanders have played at the old RFK for years, and I'm like, what? They haven't played there for years. I mean, they did, but they were acting as if it was still like they've played at the old RFK for years, and now they're going to make a new RFK.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope.
They still got to get a couple of those DC council members because they have to get a majority vote of the DC council. So they've got to grease a few palms.
To grease. They got a few palms to grease.
They got to grease a few palms before things going on there.
I know, but I am pumped about it.
You have to do this. You have to. Super pumped.
We jumped all around, dude. We're talking about so much stuff. I even forgot to mention the stadium.
Dude, did you see Scott Van Pelt on ESPN? I know ESPN is not as good as it was in the day, but he's still good. He's a Redskins fan.
He's
now
good.
A Commanders fan.
And he's a Redskins fan.
He had this like one big thing that he did on there. You could look it up on YouTube. And he was just like, I mean, basically like all of us. This is awesome. This is awesome. Can you imagine all the things that they're going to do down there, all the infrastructure they're going to have? Because when you get on the train, like Aaron and I usually go to a game every year. We go up to Arlington, stay in a hotel there, get on the train. And as you're going on the train towards Northwest Stadium, part of the way, suddenly you look to the right, there's RFK and the whole thing. And every time you look at that, you're just like, it's like a tear in your eye because FedEx is Northwest Stadium is such a freaking hole.
It might be as much of a hole as old abandoned RFK.
Yeah, really. Well, and we're going to be, it's getting less of a hole now that we have a good owner, but we're going to be there at least for the next 5 years. So, and it could be longer. However, it depends on all the palm greasing.
Well, in that, I don't know if you watched that press conference, but they were claiming that we were going to be playing there in 2030 season. That's only 5 years. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking 4 for some reason. I guess
we're talking
25, 26, 27, 28.
The end of the season will be 4 years. By the end of the season, when we win the Super Bowl, it'll be 4 years.
By the time we 3 or 4, Pete, it'll be 4 years. But anyway, it looked pretty sweet, dude. The stadium looks sweet. I have a few concerns. One, are we going to have natural turf? Since they're going to have, it looked like windows as the roof.
They have to do natural turf. Even if they wheel out in the parking lot like Arizona does, to do a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in England, they have.
But we don't have space, do we? Isn't it kind of tight? Weren't they saying it's barely big enough to build a modern stadium there? I'm just asking. I don't know the geography of. I've gone by it. I've been to the stadium for games. I haven't really looked at the the land layout.
They're even saying they're going to keep some of the playing fields that they have there for the neighborhood in that area, because there's a lot of playing fields around that place.
Here's what I was thinking would be cool though.
We'll see what they do. It's probably gonna be really interesting. All the stuff that ends up on there.
If it's a glass roof, I'm thinking you could just grow natural turf under it, but you'd have like the hot greenhouse effect. So you'd have to like, I don't know,
Really?
be able to get that air out of there, or maybe have you seen those windows that'll like automatically tint when you like it has like charged particles in it or something?
Yeah.
That'd be sick. They're like, oh, it's too bright. Oh, it's too bright. And then they turn it on and it tints it, and then they're like, oh, Dallas has the ball now. And then they open it back up.
It's so blinding.
Oh, it's a little dark in here. I know one thing that's not going to happen. You're not going to like punt and hit the scoreboard. It's hung too low.
I mean, they're going to put a roof on it no matter what. If it's a glass roof, which they have said it looks like they're going to do, then hopefully that will. I mean, they can have a stadium surface there, and they can have another surface under that gets lit up artificially that will grow grass. They can do it like underneath.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is that DC. Some people don't like when you say it, but DC was built like in a swampy area.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like here in Hampton Roads, Virginia, where Norfolk Scope, like I don't want to tell their tales on here, but it's a crappy place, and the water table is really, really high in this area, and it's kind of high there as well. So
yeah, it's gonna be sweet. I'm pumped. They even were calling it New RFK. Did you notice that? And they
oh yeah, like for now until I don't know, it'll end up being like Google Stadium at RFK Field or something like that. Like name the stadium, name the field. It'll be all that.
Dude, you know what I love about Josh Harris? We've seen him in every single the last two drafts, right? Has anyone been like, he's meddling? No, they're just like, he's a dude hanging out.
Yeah.
He's not meddling.
Really.
He just hangs out like, hey, dudes, we're pumped to have you. Dude, it's like night and day. Everything about the team is night and day. Everything.
I do remember looking on our Discord channel at tinyurl.com, Harry HF, HRRY. And some people were talking about oh man. And I totally lost my train of thought.
Some people were talking about something.
Some people were talking about something, and it involved the Commanders.
I'm in here right now. I see some people talking about Deebo Samuels, who we haven't brought up yet. We haven't even gotten to the receiver room.
I'm hoping Deebo Samuels is not going to get hurt, because he's not a spring chicken anymore. But that dude's gonna run the ball and receive.
He's got the most yards after catch of like any receiver.
Who was the receiver we got from the University of Memphis, and he became a running back when he was here.
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, he's like what Antonio Gibson was trying to become.
Yeah,
this guy is a big deal. If he doesn't get hurt.
Dude, imagine this dude on all the screens and stuff.
Imagine this dude, because now we're going to have, who are you going to double team? You're going to double team Scary Terry? You're going to double team Deebo, which is an awesome name, by the way. Or are you going to double team the tight end? Who are you going to double team?
Also, dude, don't forget that there are people pumped about this kid that we just drafted from Virginia Tech who runs like a 4.3. He's going to be a little slot dude. So you're going to have like Deebo. You can have like Deebo and how can I forget Terry McLaurin out on the ends, and they have this little slot speedy dude, and then we still have Noah Brown. And do
we have Noah Brown still?
Yeah, he re-signed. Remember, he got injured after his Hail Mary catch.
He did get not right after that, but he got injured. Yeah.
We don't have DME Brown anymore. He left.
That's okay. See,
it's okay. He wasn't that great.
He had two great games in the offseason. He had two great games in the playoffs this year, and they were like the two best games of his life, right before he hit free agency. He was getting paid by somebody.
Yeah.
But we have a coherent structure here, and now it's like we have a quarterback we have to keep.
Oh yeah.
We have Terry McLaurin we have to keep.
Yeah.
We need to get a running back. We'll talk about that in a minute with that 7th round pick we got. But you have to keep your core guys. Your third receiver, your De'Ami Brown, is going to be replaceable.
Yeah. I mean, especially when we get this Jalen Lane dude in the 4th round. It says he ran a 40 and 4.34.
Dude, his name's not Jalen. His name is Fast. Fast Lane. His name is Fast Lane.
So him, Jalen, him, Terry, Debo. Don't forget, I still haven't given up on young McCaffrey.
We got that. Yeah, we got McCaffrey from Rice, who's still. I don't know, man. We're bringing in people. I don't know. Should I just start booking my tickets for the Super Bowl now, or should we
I already called it, dude.
I called it.
Hey, that was Josh. Where is Josh?
Josh is in Greece right now.
Josh is in Greece?
Dude, he drunk FaceTime me from some private pool, infinity pool overlooking the Adriatic Sea.
Brother.
And he's like, I gotta bring you some of this rum, dude. This is really good. And I'm like, dude, you really need to get some sunscreen on, because he looked like a freaking lobster hanging out in his little private pool. And I was like, where's Amy? And he goes, she's over there. And she was inside their little cabana, reading a book, like I imagined she would be.
Not in the sun.
Yeah.
Not in the sun, because Scottish, Irish, English, we burn a lot.
Anyway, dude, we also haven't mentioned Adam Peters is for all of a sudden we went from having no one that could play at any position to being dudes, we don't even know who's going to start.
Yeah, this is our second draft with them, and going back to the defensive end / edge part.
Except for that position, we have no idea who's on the team for that. But cornerback,
we had the Amos guy. We got the Amos guy who some people were looking at as a 1st round pick, including us.
Yeah.
Like they said, Peter said, we were thinking about getting him instead of Connerly.
Yeah. And don't forget, we also got Marshawn Lattimore, who I'm not giving up on. He was coming back from that hamstring injury, which people always come back from those hamstring injuries too soon, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping he's sitting on his couch right now.
Okay, so we got him, and we got this Jonathan Jones dude in the offseason.
I remember that guy. That guy was around a long time, it seems like.
I'm trying to pull up his stats.
Jonathan Jones.
I'm just trying to pull up his stats. Signed.
Aaron.
We also re-signed.
Jonathan Jones.
We also re-signed Noah Igabogany, who I thought had a pretty good season last year.
See, that's part of the thing. Noah, Cleveland Farrell, those guys are former 1st round picks from other teams, and they're doing pretty good here.
Yeah, Igby on it. I can't even say his name, but he came on strong in the second half of the season. So we re-signed him in March.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the scheme that's going on. Sometimes it's man. Sometimes it's zone. Sometimes it's like a Tampa 2. Sometimes it's whatever 4-3. Who knows?
We also signed. That's a safety, Will Harris.
Yeah, didn't we have him before?
Yeah. Jonathan Jones is a 1-year deal. It doesn't say the price here.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to the whole defensive thing again.
Sorry.
2 drafts. 2 drafts. 2 drafts. And we've got so many people, at certain spots, we don't know who we're going to keep. I think he's doing really, really well considering how absolutely bad we were before the draft last year.
And our O-line was so suspect last year. Can you imagine if Jaden Daniels has a decent O-line? He'll have to run 50% less times.
Yeah.
And put his body at risk and actually just be able to freaking dagger people down the field.
It's going to be really interesting to look because we're doing, like we said earlier, we're doing a different. We're building the team with a strong offensive line first instead of the strong defensive line that the other three teams in the NFC East have, especially the Eagles. Their defensive line is stout.
Well, you saw what happened when we tried to build a strong defensive line over the last 5 years. We still sucked. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, we're doing different from the other three, so it's going to be really interesting to see.
We're going offense.
We're going offense. We're doing the Hogs. We're doing really doing the Hogs 2.0. None of that crappy 2.0 things that were happening over and over in the Dan Snyder era. We're really doing 2.0 with Justin Kinlaw. What's his face on the other side? I'm really pumped, and we need to cut Dieter. We need to cut Dieter before the end of training camp.
He might be a camp body. He might have been reduced to a camp body.
Well, after last year, yes. I hope so.
It's gonna be fun to watch again this year to see. Our offense has only gotten so much. We've gotten so much better. We still have Ertz, who, by the way, when I think I told you this before, I went back and watched some dude on YouTube put the highlights of the entire season, the scoring plays of the entire season and big plays, and I was like, I didn't realize how much Zach Ertz was involved until I watched that back-to-back highlight reel.
Yeah.
He was huge for us.
You and I and a lot of other people were just like, he kind of sucks. At the beginning of the season, he kind of did, honestly.
He kind of would get 1 yard short of where he had to go or drop one, but he came on strong, dude.
When he played in Arizona, I think he just lost the love of the game. And last year, he was just like, I really do love this game. I've got a good quarterback that's not weird like Kyler Murray who could throw me the ball, and football's fun again.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. And don't forget, Ben Sinnott's sitting behind him. We still don't quite know what we have with that guy.
Yeah, we have no idea.
So I think next year at the draft, we're probably really going to go defensive end, edge, as they say nowadays. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what's going on. But, I mean, 2 drafts ago, this team was awful. And now we've solidified so many positions. We solidified quarterback, which is fantastic. Some teams, you never see that.
That's the biggest thing. And we re-signed Mariota, best backup quarterback in the league. He came in and torched people in the 2 games he came in.
Dude, I've been watching the Caps playing hockey and everything. The quarterback room was in one of the games recently. Out there, all of them, including Sam Hartman, who is apparently, I don't know how good a quarterback is, but that dude's handsome as all get out. And apparently he's I don't know if he's a good quarterback or he's terrible, but he's like a glue guy. Everyone, he's good with getting everybody together. It's kind of like that dude that was with the Nationals.
The Baby Shark dude.
Yeah, the Baby Shark dude.
Para.
Yeah, Para. Who's not? I think he's still a coach there.
Yeah, I think he is a coach.
He wasn't great. He wasn't terrible, but he's a glue guy, and everyone he helps to keep the team positive. And that's what we've seen. I think what we're going to see with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty awesome, the way they're building this team. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we have not talked about since a while. I don't think so. Oh, dude, speaking of, so one of the things is we're really pushing the offense against the defense of the other 3 teams. I think part of that is because Cliff Kingsbury got there were a few teams that wanted to hire him as head coach. He's like, no, I want to stay here.
Yeah,
in Washington. But I don't know how long he's going to want to stay a coordinator. He's been a head coach, and this guy, he just seems like he wants to be a head coach again.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard different thoughts on him. Some people said that, and some people said that he didn't really like the pressure of it, but he was really good at being a coordinator, so I don't know. As long as he's still getting paid from the Cardinals, which I think he was last year, I don't know about now. I mean, I have no idea. I don't think we're going to have him forever. Someone's going to pay him big, especially when we win the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah,
so,
this year.
this year.
Well, I guess
Sorry.
Technically it's going to be next year, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we do need to get a running back too. That was the other big thing that people wanted in the draft, including myself.
Right.
And it looks like we got a dude in the 7th round, so that's a kind of a camp body / long shot.
No, he is not, dude. That dude is not a camp body.
He's not?
He is not a camp body at all. I saw that guy play. I remember in like September reading on ESPN that dude got suspended because he was like in the 6th year and he wasn't a grad student. I don't know what it was, but he only played the first game for them, first game of the season, and he had to sit for the rest of them. And he was in the Shriners Bowl after the season was over. Like guys showing off what they want, trying to get NFL teams to draft him. And he was in that game, and this was against Scatterboot, that guy that the stupid Giants drafted.
The guy that I wanted, that I thought was good.
He was like, if I remember correctly, he was on the other team, and he was really good. And the dude hadn't played in like 4 months. And there's a lot of things in college that can distract you from working out every day when you're not playing, So, and I think that's part of what AP is getting. He's getting really hard workers who just love football.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Daniels.
This dude's fast too. 4.45 40.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another one of those dudes that Adam Peters is like, oh yeah, he's gonna be under the radar, and we're getting him.
dude,
and we can get him in the 7th round.
McNichols needs to look out for that guy. That guy's gonna make the team. I think he's going to actually make the team. I don't think he's gonna go to the practice squad.
Awesome.
We'll see. That's my prediction.
Awesome. It's so. All right. We also signed one of your favorite quarterbacks of all time. So Sam Hartman better have his head on a swivel, because Josh Johnson. Remember that really dark year around 2018, 2019? At the end of the season when we had like Josh Johnson and like Butt Fumble and whoever else quarterbacked that week.
Didn't Josh Johnson beat the Cowboys?
Oh, did he? I don't remember.
I think he did.
I just remember he was on a really bad team of ours.
That was a terrible year. Wasn't that the end of the Jay Gruden experience?
Mate, all those years are forgotten now. I'm not going back and talking about it. We had 20 years of this podcast of talking about that. It's time for us to only talk about good stuff from here on out.
Yeah. So anyway, Josh Johnson, he's like 37, 38.
Why is he there? Camp body?
He's got to be a camp body. He's good at throwing the football.
Because we're not playing Jaden Daniels in freaking preseason, except for maybe like 3 series. The entire preseason.
It's going to be Marcus Mariota.
It's going to be It's going to be Marcus Mariota for like a half of a quarter each of the 3 games. And then it's going to be Sam Hartman and Josh Johnson playing all the rest of those games. That's why he's there.
Yeah. I mean,
camp body.
Who did he play? What college? He played for
veteran camp body.
What college did he go to? I'm looking him up right now. He went to Samuel Hartman. Oh, he was a Demon Deacon.
Oh, really?
He was a Demon Deacon at Wake Forest. I don't think I've ever seen him throw a football. Maybe I saw him play at Wake Forest, but I've never seen him throw a football, so I don't know. Maybe Josh Johnson's coming in to help him save his arm, our 3rd-string quarterback. Who knows?
I don't know.
Oh, dude. And going back to the Caps, Frankie Louvu was at that last game.
I saw him there.
And he was down in that beer. He was just like, whoa, whoa.
It was him and some young lady sitting there. Dude, we'd also be remiss if we didn't point out the prominent camp body that's been invited. And that is Sean Taylor's brother. I think his name's Gabe. Gabe Taylor. And I believe he's a safety too, isn't he?
I believe he is. I believe he's kind of a.
Let me go to the undrafteds. Bunch of camp bodies, and then we get to Gabe Taylor. He's from Rice, a safety.
Yeah. I'm glad they brought him in. I'm glad they didn't spend a draft pick on him.
Yeah.
It's a good story that he's going to be there. This is a very good question. Maybe we should put this on a poll on our Discord site. Do you want Gabe Taylor to wear Sean Taylor's number at camp?
He can wear 36.
I think 36 would be good.
That's what Sean Taylor wore his rookie year.
That's the one he should wear. I think that's the one he should wear. 21 is just I don't know. For you guys that were around when Sean Taylor was killed, I mean, he's just...
Didn't we retire 21?
No.
I thought we did. I think we did.
I think we did.
Because we had that flurry of retired numbers, you know?
Oh, I got to look at it now. Yeah, because now 28 is retired. So...
Yeah, 21, I think it is retired. And we also retired 81, didn't we? Or no?
Not yet. The retired numbers are number 9, number 21, Darrell Green, Sammy Ball, Bobby Mitchell.
Yeah, so we can't...
Art Monk might be this year. Art Monk might be the one this year. Like we went to the Darrell Green game last year where they retired his number and everything.
Yeah. So we can't... He can't wear it. So that leaves 36 for him.
Right. That makes sense.
And he should wear that in camp. And there you go.
This might actually be John Riggins' year to get 44 retired. That number needs to be retired.
Yeah. Speaking of John Riggins, did you notice that he was at the press conference for the new RFK and we haven't seen him at all? Because he said he would never come back as long as it was the Commanders. And I think he's back.
He'd never come back if it was Dan Snyder.
Okay, but he was also really hating the Commander's name too. And anyway, he came back for this. You know, he couldn't stay away forever when we started,
Did they send
turning it around?
Joe Gibbs to his house out in the middle of the country, out in the Great Plains? And John Riggins comes to the door with a beer at 7:00 in the morning.
2 beers.
You're like, "What's up, Coach?" 2 beers, yeah. For those of you guys who don't know, John Riggins, before the Super Bowl victory, the first Super Bowl victory for this team, John Riggins retired, and Joe Gibbs went to his house like in Kansas at first thing in the morning, and John Riggins shows up at the door, opens the door with a beer. He's like, "Come on in," and Joe Gibbs talked him out of retiring, and he ended up, basically, was he the MVP of that one?
Yeah, he was.
He should have been.
It's on my mini helmet that he signed John Riggins Super Bowl MVP.
That's awesome. I mean, just when he got to the playoffs, he was a different beast, man.
Yeah.
Fullback John Riggins.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a good sign to see him there. Darrell Green was there. I think Joe Gibbs was there, but I didn't see him. I heard him talk about him being there. I
heard a lot of the players, they kind of keep it under the table, but when players do all this stuff, they get paid by the team, and just teams in general in the NFL and in sports, they'll have their former players come back, and a lot of those guys, they just kind of pay, and they don't really do much. They're just hanging out.
Oh, really?
Dan Snyder did not pay those guys. That's why Darrell Green stopped showing up. That's why John Riggins just hated him. But that's why people who used to be in the box that were cool with him weren't cool with him anymore, because he just wasn't paying them. I saw the story specifically about Darrell Green. Like, Darrell Green stopped doing stuff because Dan Snyder wasn't paying him to do stuff.
Yeah.
You ain't got no money? You ain't got no money? Oh!
We haven't even... I know that people are just letting this die, but I'm going to bring it up one more time because why not? So once Dan Snyder just sold everything and fled the country, did they drop all those investigations on him?
One of them, I know that they got Republicans in office, so that's what they're going to do.
Well, yeah.
It is what it is, man. It's politics. In politics, in the most political city in the world.
Plus, the entire goal was just to get them to sell the team. They didn't care about that other stuff.
most people didn't care. I'm sure the cheerleaders would say something else, but
you're right.
Most people are just really, really happy that he had to sell the team, and now he's hanging out with Josh in Greece, getting sunburned.
He's out in his yacht. He still can't come, into port, or he might get arrested. Or something.
He's buying what's that team in Scotland?
The Paisleys. Oh, I gotta wear the shirt.
St. Mirren, man.
St. Mirren. I forgot
my shirt over here.
I got my new shirt. I'm gonna wear it on the next podcast. I forgot.
Oh.
It finally made its way over with Josh. It's like size 7X or something like that. So it might fit me.
Which is like maybe 2X in America.
Yeah. I think last time he got last time I made the mistake of him getting me a 2X, and that thing was like the size of a medium here in the United States. I swear.
Soccer jerseys are like painted on, man. They're so they're starting to get back into like that early 90s where everything got really, really baggy again. Yeah. Some guys aren't wearing like the shirts that look like someone just painted it on it before they went on the field. They're actually a little bit baggy again.
Well, they aren't in St. Mirren.
Yeah, really.
All right.
I'd love to go to St. Mirren and watch a game one day. Hopefully we'll get to do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, did you hear that? Firefly, we're on our way over.
Heck yeah. Not yet, but we'll figure something out.
Soon. We'll hang out with Josh for a few days and then go hang out with Firefly. And go to a St. Mirren game. That would be cool. Anyway, Should we round this thing out, or was there some big news that we haven't talked about?
I figure there's something that we forgot about because we're getting old and we just forget about stuff.
And it's been
we are the first. And I mean, we've been doing this podcast. We were the first Redskins/Commanders podcast by fans ever. That's why the original Redskins fan podcast. So my point is, you and I are old.
Dude, do you realize that when September rolls around, like we started this in 2005?
Yeah. So
that means it'll be 20 years.
20 years!
And we still can't get it right.
20 years and Harry Hog football is just so close to getting it right every time.
By the way, I got something from Spotify that said they were taking 15 or so more of our podcasts down because they have some kind of music in them. And I honestly didn't even go look to keep them up there because who's going to go back and listen to a random game when Josh Johnson was quarterback in 2018, I was like, okay.
I always wonder if it's because we'll start singing some song.
No, it's not.
I wonder if that's what it is.
Really? We used to use them sometimes.
Are these old episodes?
Yeah. But here's the thing. I didn't want to argue it, but at the time there were some bands They Might Be Giants, and we'd have those on our intro and whatnot. And then on YouTube, though, it said copyright, whatever. I don't want to say infringement because that's not the word they use, but it said they're okay with this. The artist is okay with this as long as they can monetize. You won't get money for this podcast for any ads that we run. And I was like, that's fine because we're not trying to. We don't care about that.
It's like football.
But now apparently, I don't know if they changed their mind or if Spotify was just we don't care.
I know, dude. I know exactly what it is. They probably use something about AI, and it's just knocking all those off AI.
The AI came through and found a lot more, right? Yeah. Because they've only been on there for 20 years, and they just found them.
And we all know AI is super accurate.
Yeah. Exactly. In fact, I burned my finger because of AI. Long story. I was building an electronic circuit, and I was like, how do I do this circuit? On ChatGPT. And it told me how to hook up this circuit, and I'm like, it's not working. And then I touched the top of a transistor, and it was 500 degrees. And I was that's not right. That is not right. And I turned it off real quick, and I was like, this can't be right. It shouldn't be 500 degrees on my finger. So I got this little blister because of AI. We'll call this episode Burned by AI.
Burned by AI.
Anyway, I think that should about round it out. We can get on with our weekend. Let me find
Get on with our weekend? I think minicamp is coming up. If not this weekend, next weekend, I think. I really don't know, though. I have a schedule somewhere. I looked on it. I can't tell. It's because I turned 50 in February. I'm getting old, man. Thank you, Joe Gibbs.
I think Josh is already 50.
Oh, yeah. He should be like 51, maybe 52.
He's a geezer.
He's a geezer. You're a little old boy, I guess. What are you, 48?
I can't remember. I'm so old. Let me see. I was born in. I think I'm still. Yeah, I think I am 48. I was born in 76.
Yeah, late 76.
So that's 48.
Anyway, dudes, check out our Discord channel. Discord, tinyurl.com/HarryHF, HARRYHF. Check it out. There's a bunch of Redskins /Commanders/football team fans. You can get in there and talk to all these guys that are well, I mean, we like football. We like the Skins. We like the Commanders. We like Jane Daniels. We do not like Dallas. We do not like the New York Giants.
We like winning, and we like horses on the O.
And we hate the Eagles.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Hail to the Redskins, and as always, if you see a Cowboys fan,
you know what to do.
Joker!